Arsenal spent 96 consecutive seasons in the top flight of English football, which is the longest spell of any English club. Their last relegation came in 1913 when they were known as Woolwich Arsenal. The same year they relocated to Highbury Stadium in North London. Aston Villa's first match after being established was against Aston Brook St Mary's, who were a rugby team. The match was unique because during the first half, Aston Villa had to follow rugby rules, and during the second half, the match had to follow football rules. Bournemouth have a stand named after Steve Fletcher. No, not that one. He holds the club record for appearances with 726 between 1992 and 2013. In the 2008-09 season, Bournemouth began with a 17-point deduction, and in the penultimate game they came from behind to beat Grimsby 2-1, with Steve Fletcher scoring the winner, sealing Bournemouth's place in the Football League and his place as a Bournemouth legend. Yes, we know that Brentford's Old Ground had a pub on every corner. The pubs were called the Royal Oak, the Princess Royal, the New Inn and the Griffin. But did you know that the Griffin actually featured in 2005 film Green Street and the 2018 film Bohemian Rhapsody? There are loads of football teams in London, loads in the West Midlands, loads in Yorkshire, but poor Brighton were the only team from Sussex in the Football League from 1920 to 2011 until Crawley Town were promoted. That's probably why they had to pick a rivalry with Crystal Palace, who are 40 miles up the M23. Chelsea are the only club in history to appoint 3 player managers in a row, those being Glenn Hoddle, Ruud Gullit and Gianluca Vialli. Crystal Palace have never won a Major League trophy in England or Europe, despite reaching the final of the FA Cup twice in 1990 and 2016, losing both times to Man United. Everton hold the record of playing the most seasons in the top flight of English football, only ever playing 4 seasons outside the top flight since the creation of the Football League in 1888. They played at the top level continuously since 1958, as mentioned, with only Arsenal having a longer unbroken run at this level. Fulham's owner Saeed Khan is also the owner of NFL franchise the Jacksonville Jaguars, as well as wrestling promotion All Elite Wrestling. Khan also removed a statue which stood outside of Craven Cottage. Who was a statue of? A former player? A club legend? Nope, Michael Jackson. Hee hee. In their entire history, Leicester City have spent just 1 season outside of the top 2 tiers in England. They spent the 2008-2009 season in League One, winning the title in the process. Leicester also hold the joint record for most second-tier title triumphs. The Foxes have won the First Division 6 times and the Championship once, meaning they are level with Manchester City on 7. Leeds United were originally known as Leeds City until the club was dissolved due to financial irregularities in 1919, after which Leeds United were born, and they used to play in blue and white, which later became blue and yellow, before they chose an all-white kit in the 60s. The first regular football programme on television, Match of the Day, began on the 22nd of August in 1964 at the start of the 1964-65 season. The identity of the match, Liverpool versus Arsenal, was kept secret until 4 p.m. by agreement with the Football League, who feared that crowds would stay at home to watch it. Nearly an hour of highlights of the game was shown, which was won 3-2 by Liverpool, making them the first team to win on Match of the Day. The 2017-2018 season saw Man City break a number of records. First of all, first team to get 100 points in the Premier League. They had the biggest title winning margin in the Premier League by 19 points, the most Premier League wins at 32, which was joint with Liverpool, the most away wins at 16, the most consecutive Premier League wins, 18, again joint with Liverpool, the most Premier League goals at 106, and the best goal difference of plus 79. Not a bad season. Man United have the highest social media following of all English clubs, with an estimated 150 million followers across Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, with countries like India, Indonesia and USA having high numbers of Red Devil fans. Let me know if you're one of them. Thanks to this photo of these 2 lads at the 1974 FA Cup final, it is believed Newcastle were the first fans to wear replica football shirts to matches. At the time, wearing sportswear in public was not the norm, not to mention the threat from football hooligans. The marketing of replica shirts became more common with the introduction of the Premier League, but we can credit Newcastle as the trendsetters. Forest have a great history and in the past have won the top English League, FA Cup, League Cups and 2 European Cups, now known as the Champions League. In fact, they are the last UK club to have won the European Cup twice on the trot in 1979 and 1980. Southampton have kept their Premier League status since 2012 and been rather successful in that time. However, they have taken some batterings in recent years, losing 9-0 in consecutive seasons, first to Leicester in 2019 and then Man United in 2021. Spurs opened their new stadium in 2019. The stadium holds the longest general admission bar in the UK, measured at 86.8 metres long, and the bar even includes self-service pumps to help cut the queues. The stadium also has an in-house bakery, a microbrewery and a cheese room. A lot of food and drink in this one. West Ham are the last team to have won the FA Cup from outside the top division. They beat Arsenal in the final in 1980. They are also the last side to win the FA Cup with an all-English side, beating Fulham 2-0 in the 1975 final. Wolves were the first club to score 7,000 league goals. Wolves achieved this when Sulky Young scored in the 1-1 draw at Crystal Palace on the 10th of December 2006.